It's time to start your day with the First Cup Morning Show.
Serving up a warm cup of good news, positivity, and uplifting messages.
And now, here's your host,
Our dad,
Joshua Kangley.
Hello, friends. Good morning to you, and welcome back on in to the First Cup Monday Morning Show. I'm your host, Joshua Kangley, and I believe there is no better way to start off the week than with some good news and some good coffee, which I hope you're enjoying yours this morning. Now, as always, we have some good news of the week for you, and we will get to that in just a bit. But first, let's start it off with a quote. Helen Keller once said, "When one door of happiness closes, another opens. But often we look so long at the closed door that we do not see the one which has been opened for us." And that is one of my favorite quotes. Sometimes in life, it's easy to get caught staring at the door that's closed. A lost opportunity, a relationship that ended, a dream that didn't unfold the way we hoped. And we stand there replaying what went wrong, wishing it would open again. But what Helen Keller reminds us of so gently and yet so powerfully is that life doesn't end at that closed door. There's always another one waiting, quietly, patiently, for us to turn and see it. Now, the open door might not look the same, and it might lead somewhere unexpected, but it's there, filled with new beginnings, new people, new moments that can bring even deeper happiness than we imagined before. The challenge here is, of course, learning to let go, to trust that what's behind us has served its purpose, and that what's ahead of us will carry us closer to where we're meant to be. So maybe this week we can take a deep breath, turn around, and look for that open door. Because sometimes the very thing we think is the end is actually the start of something new and beautiful. And now let's go to the Did You Know? Did you know that on this day, November 10th, Sesame Street premiered for the very first time back in 1969. It was a groundbreaking moment in television history. The show was created with one big goal: to use the power of TV to help prepare children for school, especially those from disadvantaged backgrounds. It was developed by the Children's Television Workshop, led by Joan Gans Cooney and Lloyd Morissette, who wanted to blend education with entertainment. The show's creators brought in child psychologists, educators, and puppeteer Jim Henson, whose now iconic Muppets like Big Bird, Cookie Monster, and Oscar the Grouch became household names. From day one, Sesame Street broke barriers. It was the first children's program to base its content on educational research, and it featured a diverse cast in an urban neighborhood, something rarely seen on TV at the time. Since that day in 1969, Sesame Street has aired in over 150 countries, won over 200 Emmy Awards, and continues to teach kindness, friendship, and curiosity to new generations. And if you didn't know that, now you know. Today, November 10th, is National Forget-Me-Not Day. National Forget-Me-Not Day on November 10th reminds Americans of the sacrifices returning soldiers have made of body, blood, and limb. Created in 1921, the day reminds Americans that National Forget-Me-Not Day originally raised funds for services for returning injured soldiers. At the time, existing hospitals were insufficient to support the numbers of returning disabled veterans. The day serves to honor all past and current U.S. military veterans who bear the permanent scars of battle. Today, the organization that founded National Forget-Me-Not Day is named the Disabled American Veterans, supporting all disabled veterans. And now it's time for some animal fun facts.
Today's animal is the bald eagle. Did you know bald eagles can spot prey from up to 2 miles away?
Did you know a bald eagle's wings can stretch up to 7.5 feet wide?
All right, let's get to the good news of the week. And this week's good news headline comes from sunnyskies.com. News source credit goes to sunnyskies.com. Thousands rally to bring joy to 3-year-old boy known as the Butterfly Child. In Kansas City, Missouri, thousands of people came together to celebrate the life and spirit of a very special 3-year-old boy, Tucker Langford. Tucker was born in December 2021 with a rare genetic skin disorder called recessive dystrophic epidermolysis, RDEB, often called butterfly skin, because those who have this rare disorder have skin as delicate as a butterfly's wings. Despite his challenges, though, Tucker has touched countless hearts with his courage and smile. Recently, after doctors also diagnosed him with a rare heart condition, his family made the heartbreaking decision to bring him home for hospice care. That's when the Kansas City community and even people from across the country decided to do something incredible. Nearly 2,000 bikers, trucks, jeeps, and even a few dogs rolled through town in a massive parade to honor Tucker. And it was a beautiful sight. Engines rumbling, flags waving, and love filling the air. It was clear to everyone there that Tucker's story has inspired more people than his family could ever have imagined. You know, stories like Tucker's remind us that sometimes the smallest lives can leave the biggest marks. In a world that often celebrates strength as power, Tucker shows us a different kind of strength, the kind that lives in courage, joy, and love, even when life is fragile. What happened there in Kansas City wasn't just a parade. It was a collective heartbeat of compassion. Strangers came together not because they had to, but because love asked them to. And that's what a community really means. Showing up for one another, especially when words aren't enough. So this week, maybe we can each look for a way to show up for a neighbor, a friend, or even a stranger. Because sometimes the greatest honor we can give to stories like Tucker's is to carry a little of that love forward in the world. I really hope you enjoyed that good news story. And for more good news, positivity, and uplifting messages, you can always visit guidinglights.org. That's www.guidinglights.org. And before we go today, I'd like to leave you with a dad joke. What is a coffee's favorite exercise? The French press. Well, folks, that's going to wrap up this week's show. I challenge you to be the reason someone smiles this week, and have a great week. And remember, don't let the mainstream media fool you, because there is good news happening all the time.